Thank you very much, Luke, as well from my side. And the next speaker is talking about the impact of different measurement policies on overcoats, case study from Croatia and Ireland. And I believe our good friend Bill Klanker is going to give a talk. Bill, the podium is yours, please.
Okay, thank you, Rada. Like Rada said, I will present this paper I wrote together with Ines Stefanovic and Sandra Skadis. We'll talk about the impact of different maintenance policies on owner's cost. And we looked at two case studies, one from Croatia and one from the Netherlands. So we did this work also within working group 2 of cost action TU 1406. And of course, as you know, the optimization of maintenance planning is one of the most important aspects of risk management. And to do so, the efficiency of the condition assessment process is of course really important. So if we have a better understanding of the condition assessment, the condition of the bridge, the deterioration processes, this would help us to make better decisions what repair options to choose. So what we have done in this paper basically is to examine what we could consider two opposing maintenance strategies, a corrective and a preventive maintenance strategy. And we looked at two case studies, like I said, one from Croatia and one from the Netherlands, to compare those two. Well, as you will be familiar with, this could be said to be two main approaches to maintenance strategy or maintenance planning. One is corrective. In other words, we only do the maintenance when we have a certain amount of damage, or the other could be preventive. In other words, we try to do our maintenance tasks before damage is occurring, so in order to keep the structure in a reasonable condition. In practice, however, we often use a combination, right? We don't choose just one, just only corrective or only preventive maintenance. It's quite often a combination of the two. So we try to optimize the costs and the performance of the structure. To do so, of course, we need a decision-making system. So we need a way to collect the information and to consider the different repair options. And of course, like I said, we need a good understanding of the bridge condition and degradation processes. So what we did basically, we took two cases. And the aim was to get an understanding of the effect of different maintenance policies on maintenance costs. And maintenance cost here is only the cost for the owner, of the bridge owner. So we did not include user costs or other societal costs, which could of course also be included in later stages. So what we did is we compiled data from different inspections which have been carried out in the last years, a little over a decade. And we compared the condition that we found of the bridge, the main structural elements of the bridges, the maintenance costs that was advised based on the condition rating, and combined that with the age of the bridge at the time of the inspection. The assumption here is that in Croatia we use, or it's mainly following a corrective maintenance approach, whereas in the Netherlands we use mainly a preventive maintenance approach. So we have two opposing approaches present in the case. So in Croatia, in general, could be said to be a corrective maintenance approach. What we do is where inspections are carried out only when there is a certain need to do so, so there is some evidence of damage. There is a condition rating system ranging from 0 to 5, like was presented this morning already, I think. And the repairs are being identified based on the condition assessment. So this is a very standard procedure, I think, which is familiar for most of you from most countries. So we looked at 12 bridges. Those were constructed in the 1980s, 1981, 1988. And we looked at the inspection data from two inspections. So the first inspection was carried out in 1998 and the second in 2010. So we had some idea about the development of the condition and of the maintenance costs which were foreseen for those bridges over time. And the idea here is that for those bridges only routine maintenance was carried out from the date they were constructed up to the inspection in 2010. So in the Netherlands, we have a more preventive approach, so we do regular maintenance, regular inspections, but also regular maintenance. Inspections are carried out periodically, roughly every 6 years. We also do a basic condition rating, 0 to 6 in this case. We do identify the repair works based on the condition, but we also do include a risk assessment. So in other words, we try to assess what is the effect of the condition state of a certain element for the bridge performance, and based on that we try to identify the repair costs. From the Netherlands we chose 24 bridges. They were a bit more randomly chosen from the network, constructed somewhere between the 1960s and the 1990s. And we used inspection data from 2010 and 2015, so there also we had some idea of the development of the condition and maintenance cost over time for different bridges. And for all bridges, we can say that they've been maintained, both routine maintenance, but also a lot of planned maintenance was done since they were constructed. So these two graphs basically show what the results. So you can see on the x-axis is the age of the bridges at the time of inspection, and on the y-axis is the cost of the planned maintenance activities based on the condition assessment. So for the Croatian case, we see that the value of the repair cost is actually increasing quite soon after construction. So after, say, maybe 15, but more realistically, maybe after 20 years, we'll already see that the cost of maintenance are increased quite a bit. It's also substantially higher than in the case of the Netherlands, right, where we see that basically for most bridges up to the age of roughly 40 years, we don't see so much maintenance being planned. But if the bridges get older, of course, we see more maintenance. So that's basically the idea what we did here, right, is with the two opposing maintenance strategies, try to find two more extreme cases, really corrective and really preventive maintenance. Of course, we looked only at a really small number of bridges, right, 12 in the case of Croatia, 24 in the case of the Netherlands. Although what we did, the type of analysis could quite easily be done for the complete bridge stock if we have all the data together, and try to find the relation. We think we find some relation between the age of the structure and the maintenance costs, right? We see that, as we might expect, as the bridges get older, we see higher maintenance costs. But we also see that for a preventive maintenance strategy, the increasing cost appears to be both later in the age of the structure, but it's also quite lower than for the corrective maintenance approach. So in other words, when we look at the cost action TU 1406, right, we try to find performance indicators and performance goals. Of course, they really could be used in a lot of different ways for different agencies, but of course, maybe also in the cost action, we try to find some recommendations in the way how to use those. In other words, what are best practices for different agencies to use to make optimal use of their resources. So that concludes my presentation.
Thank you very much, Bill. Are there any questions, please? We have some time. We're actually ahead of the schedule a bit. Anybody? Yes, Jose.
I think it's a quite interesting comparison between two realities. What we have a lot of theories. I think a lot of theories are being applied with success. But one thing which is missing in Europe, in my opinion, is real data, is a real comparison with real results. And I'll be happy if you could extend this comparison to much more countries to see what is the reality in these different countries, and using the network we have for this. Because in US, for instance, you have open data that you can use and do all your analysis easily, but in Europe this is very difficult to do that. And this is one our main constraints, in my opinion, that does not allow us to proceed more. And I think for the owners which are here in this audience, I think it's important that you put the eyes in all the countries where the data is available, so that this kind of comparison, such as Gil did, could be extended, and all the information could be also shared between us. I think my congratulations, and I will be happy with it. Thank you.
There's another question here, Michael. Yeah. There's a microphone over there.
Thank you. I was wondering, I think the conclusions are quite interesting, but would you have information enough that you could compare the level of provided services by the infrastructure you are looking at? Because when you make the comparisons between different strategies, I think that the level of provided service is probably a very decisive factor. And maybe also if you would look at the consumption of let's say, elementary flows, energy, material, and things like that, you would get a more holistic picture. And probably the preventive strategy would be even more clearly a preferred option. But I'm just guessing.
Well, I agree. It would be really interesting to include that also in the comparison. We didn't do that so far. And what you also find, and also reflecting back to what Jose said, is that it's often it's not so hard to think of what would be useful comparison, but it's often quite hard to get all the data together to actually make that comparison. So we limited ourselves now to a small number of bridges and basically just condition and costs. But I agree, it would be really useful to widen the scope of that. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, Gil.